Okay, Shalom, Shalom, Kwam Yashala, Kohalo Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rachachodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone, and by the Spirit toward us this beautiful truth. And just want to say the water to the H.I.M that's out here sincerely keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. Zachanan Nawab just coming at you with another quick lesson. Pray that it's edifying by the Spirit, and just want to show that. See, Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, they will allow our women to have these positions of power. And, and once they get there, they still looking at you as, hey, you just some Negro, but they prefer to give those particular positions and those jobs to our women as opposed to our men. They definitely want our women over us. And that's just actually a curse, you know what I'm saying, from Yahweh Bashim Yahushai on us as a people, that our women would rule over us, so to speak. But there are also scriptures that says that, a woman should not usurp authority over a man. But let's get this right here, though. This is representative or Republican or representative. I'm trying to think if it's I don't think she's a Republican. Maybe not. Anyway, Joyce Beatty says Representative Hal Rogers poked her and said, "Kiss my ass," after she asked him to put on a mask. See, but that's that usurping authority over a man. She should have just shut her damn mouth, Now, but that's them women, you feeling as if you're in authority. And just women, strange women, if you shouldn't be talking to men, that you don't know, just out of the blue, and especially giving orders. But that's the thing with our women, you know what I'm saying? And that so-called white man told her to kiss his ass, but, of course, the news, the media caught wind of it. So, of course, he gave, more than likely gave a fake ass apology just to get him off, his ass. But, by him poking her in the back or wherever, touching her or whatever, hey, they can had him in a jake doing that to a so-called white woman. They would have escorted his ass out of there in some cuffs, more than likely. But anyway, let's see if we can get this video to play, and I'll grab a couple of scriptures. Let's see here. Yeah, of course, you're going to get let me see here, the commercial. I can actually leave it on quiet until it actually kicks out. I have it linked to the Bluetooth here in the vehicle. Let's see.
Tail end of an altercation between two members of Congress. Democrat Joyce Beatty says that Republican Hal Rogers poked her in the back and told her, quote, "Kiss my ass," after she asked him to wear a mask before boarding the U.S. Capitol subway system. The video was taken just after the incident. I'm a member of Congress like you, and I'm a woman. You will not disrespect. I will bring you up for action for everything else. This is the way Beatty described what happened. She wrote, "Today, while heading to the House floor for votes, I respectfully asked my colleague, Representative Hal Rogers, to put on a mask while boarding the train. He then poked my back, demanding I get on the train. When I asked him not to touch me, he responded, 'Kiss my ass.' This is the kind of disrespect we've been fighting for years and indicative of the larger issue we have with GOP members flaunting health and safety mandates designed to keep us and our staff safe." Joining us now is Joyce Beatty, Democratic Congresswoman from Ohio and chair of the Congressional Black Caucus. Chairwoman, thank you so much for being with us. What did that feel like in the moment?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on this morning. It was insulting. It angered me that he would have the nerve to poke me in my back. That was bad enough. And when I asked him not to touch me, after asking him politely to put his mask on, he then told me to kiss his ass. And with that, I told him I would not be disrespected, that I was a colleague of his and I was a Black woman. And I wasn't going to be bullied by him. I actually told him he picked the wrong woman today because I was not going to be bullied, standing up for something that I thought was right, because there was a mandated sign on the train that tells you if you ride, you have to put your mask on. And so he chose to ride versus walk. We just the day before had stood out on the Capitol step.
Okay, so let me just stop it there. Like, what? I get it, but who are you to talk to a man that's not your husband, not your boyfriend, not your nephew, not your brother, not your uncle, not your nobody to you at all? You take it upon yourself to be the law. I'm sure that the train has somebody that's in control of stuff like that. Security of some sort. It's a capital train. Somebody would have ran up on him eventually and said, hey, put on your mask. You know what I'm saying? There's a mask mandate, sir. Whatever the rules may be. But this is, so let me just grab a quick scripture real quick. Because first off, I mean, there's so many things that I want to touch on in it. Because first off, she's not black. I'm a black woman. She's not black. She's actually brown. And not even that dark of a brown. You see what I'm saying? But let me just grab a quick scripture real quick. Let's see, what is that? Maybe I'll just put it in like this and get there quicker. Yes, you know what? Let me go into it. It's a little more on this. Oh boy, okay. 1 Timothy 2:11, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. You see? She should have been in silence. And, she could have, went to the proper authorities and say, hey, well, that gentleman right there, he doesn't have on a mask. You know what I'm saying? Can you, out of my safety and the safety of others, can you ask him to put on a mask? It wasn't her job to tell him to put on no fucking mask, first off. But now for him to touch her, hey, that's called assault here in America. But you know what? Let me get a scripture on that real quick. Because, of course, they wasn't going to arrest his ass. Now, are they going to bring up charges or whatever the case may be? I doubt it. But something could come out of it, other than... But you know what? First off, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, his skirt is being lifted up real high, man. I'm talking about this. It's like that Marilyn Monroe famous picture of her standing on the, and her dress is blowing up. And she's trying to hold it down from the front. But see, she took that picture as something sexy. But see, Esau, his shit being blown up, and he can't get it to go down. And everybody starting to see, his little bumpy ass. Hey, hey, it is what it is, man. But let me get Psalm 73. Gotta have fun with it, man. Gotta have fun with it. Psalm 73:3. I'm gonna start there. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. Because they live forever. They have the best of everything, man. They eat the best of food. They drink the best of wines, water. They have the best access to medical attention. And, them old-ass so-called white people, man, they live forever, man. And you got Jake that's into that, like they even, this lady here, she has access to some better things, than as opposed to your average so-called black woman, or of course we know that because she makes better funds, better money, probably live in a better neighborhood, got access to all the best doctors and, or better things, I will put it that way. It says, for there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. That's the point that I wanted to make. Neither are they plagued like other men. See, he's not in trouble like other men. The so-called white man is not plagued like the so-called black man, because had that been a so-called black man poked a so-called white woman and told her to kiss his ass, man, look, hey, they'd have had Capitol Police there, man. You see? Well, let's see what else we can get out of it. Because like I said, again, she's not black. As you can see, she clearly has on black. Her glasses are black. Frames of her glasses are black. Her dress is black. You see what I'm saying?
In respect and honor for some 900,000.
See what I'm saying? People. So she's not black. That's a social construct that you so-called black people need to get out of, man. You're Hebrew Israelites. And if you are considered to be black or African American or a Negro, so to speak, you are a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That's your original biblical nationality. And Esau Edom, they're not actually white. Because as you can see, this guy's shirt is white, but he's not white. He's actually pinkish to reddish in color. That's Esau Edom. That's the biblical name for Esau Edom. And this is a clear picture of Esau and Jacob. It says Esau came out red, you know. And Jacob, they didn't even mention his color because he came out the same color as everybody else, which were everybody had melanin. When Esau came on the scene, that's when that melanin was gone, man. You see, but let's get a little bit more of this.
Who have died because of COVID. So I was in my place because the sign said wear a mask to ride. And there's only 2 cars you can ride on because of COVID. They blocked off all of the other cars.
Were you surprised?
So see, she said she was in her place. No, you're not in the place to tell no man. And see, a lot of these women, they go out in public and they do stuff like this. And when they get their asses whooped, then it's all of a sudden everybody is in the wrong. Well, you should just keep your fucking mouth closed and mind your business. Or tell the proper authorities. I'm not the type to, because I find it offensive with somebody I don't know you from Adam, and you trying to tell me what to do. I don't give a shit what color you are. I don't know you. Can you please, like, who are you, first off? You know what I'm saying? And here you go. But this is the type of authority that the so-called black woman. So you can imagine her if she'll step to a so-called black man, so-called white man like that. You can only imagine how she treats the so-called black man, and especially those that she feels are underneath her. You have to just imagine, man. You see? Let's get a little bit more of it. Let's see. And this is for educational purposes only.
I was very surprised. To tell you the truth, I was very surprised because in asking him to put his mask on, please, for him to have that type of attitude is unacceptable. But we're in a hyper-partisan environment right now where people have gone rogue and they think they can say and do whatever they want to say. And I have no...
No, check that out. You see what she just said? You asked me, you've gone rogue. There's no way that you should be flying out of your mouth telling a grown-ass man that appears to be older than you. He's probably looking at this like, nigga, what the bitch? Who the fuck are you to tell me? And you can't. I mean, that's the reaction from any guy that's strange on the street and some woman running up randomly telling him what to do. But she clearly says she felt as if she was in her place. Now, it's okay for her to do this. But it's not, but she said she's being a hypocrite, actually, from what she just said. So let's get some more. And like I said, again, it's for educational purposes only. I don't want to just be, hey, it's a news story within and I'm sure it's on YouTube. So I'm just using it for educational purposes here. So, let's move on.
No tolerance for bullying. And I also believe in civility. And that's why I think it's important for me to express that this is not acceptable.
So he did apologize. He wrote a statement that said, "This afternoon I met with Congresswoman Beatty to personally apologize. My words were not acceptable, and I expressed my regret to her first and foremost." Can you tell us what happened in that meeting?
Well, yes. What happened was I had gone to our leadership. I had also gone to the sergeant at arms, and I said, I'm demanding an apology. And so he did not come forth at first, and our leadership, Leader Steny Hoyer, went over and talked with some of his colleagues and their leadership and him, and they said he would come over and apologize. And so when he came to the floor to apologize, mind you, without a mask on, I stepped back. And as he reached out to touch my arm, I told him, don't touch me. And I moved back because he didn't have a mask on.
But you wanted the apology. You see, you forced the apology. And when you force an apology out of somebody, of course it's not sincere. And you know why he ran up on you with no mask? Because he was still like, fuck you. He was still basically telling you, without saying it, kiss my ass. You see what I'm saying? You step back. You don't want to be touched. But you forcing this apology. Like, you can't, if you got to force an apology on anybody, that definitely means, we're not talking about children here. We're not talking about 4-year-olds and 5-year-olds that you're teaching them that if you do somebody wrong, you apologize to them. Even though a kid may, they don't want to do it. But those are children. We're talking about a grown-ass man that have been on the planet for damn near a century. And you trying to tell this guy, you go through all the proper channels to demand an apology. Then when the guy show up, he still doesn't have on a mask. And I'm sure it's probably his right, because there are states and places where the mask mandate is not there. But in the meanwhile, where's the authorities in the building that's telling him, hey, look, you need to have on a mask, yo. This is the mandates. It's not up to her to do it. Why are you being security? That's like, matter of fact, when it reminds me of when COVID first started. And the supermarket that I would go to, and of course, damn Edomites, they got the women, the cash register, so-called black women, they're running the register. That's their job. That's what they're being paid for. But the so-called white man got them doing security and telling people to wear, you got to put on a mask when they come in the door, instead of hiring security and letting the people, because when that thing first jumped off, actually it was a so-called black man. He ended up getting shot at a Family Dollar and killed because of a woman about a damn mask. Security guard was just simply asking her, hey, ma'am, you got to put on your mask. She comes back with her brother. They was on a run for a while, actually. I don't even know whatever happened with the case, but, everything was really pretty hot around that time. But when I would walk in the supermarket, I seen this one guy, man, he was going to hell in on the cash registers. Bitch, calling them all kinds of names. And I'm standing there trying to check out. And I'm like, well, why do they have you doing, security, basically? While he's up in the bulletproof, booth, he's got you doing the job of basically a security officer. When you're supposed to be a cashier, you shouldn't have to take that type of abuse. You shouldn't have to be the person to say, hey, you need to put on a mask before somebody walks into an establishment. You see what I'm saying? So, but that was the authority. And you know what? They was doing it well. Selling masks right at the counter, soon, at the checkout. You got to have on a mask. And it's the way they talk, man. The so-called black woman, man, boy, when I tell you, sometimes it's the way that they just, and she probably said it real snobby, too. You got to put on a mask. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, I'd say that usurping authority over a man is not cool. But only in Esau Edom's kingdom can this be done. And you can clearly see that she's on some bullshit, man. She's on some bullshit. Straight up, man. You go and demand the apology. You go, I'm going to make a complaint. I've been assaulted. So finally, when the guy want to make the apology, he'll come to shake your hand. So had he had on a mask, you still would have allowed him to touch you? Because he could have been in there playing with his nose or, hand down his pants at his desk while he was deciding like, fuck it, I'll go on out there and apologize. Came out, never even washed his hands. So was you going to shake his hand if he had on the mask? Come on, man.
It's gone. And so with that, he mumbled some words, and I told leadership it wasn't acceptable. I wanted a public apology. And as Speaker Pelosi said, if you insult a high profile, you have to do a high profile apology. So I demanded a public apology. And that is when he publicly apologized. And I have accepted his public apology. And I'm moving on. But I won't stop standing up for what I believe in. And if you ride the train, then the message is you put a mask on or you walk.
And there you have it, man. Hey, she said she was high profile. You see, that's that pride too. But I mean, hey, like I said, man, Yehovah Shem Yahushua is most definitely placed our women above us on these pedestals. And it's gonna come to a point where all that's gonna be over with, man. Because you better believe that little apology that he gave. And at the same time, too, I mean, hey, it's powerful. I mean, don't get me wrong, because we love seeing that as well. We love seeing Esau Edom, the so-called white man, being put on blast. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, we gotta check who we're supposed to check, man, which is our people, Hey, we put Esau on blast, but we gotta still cut into our people, too, man. It can't be, hey, it's a double-edged sword, man. You get the bitter with the sweet. You see what I'm saying? Because me personally, my woman, I wouldn't want her out, and if something happened, like, what the fuck was you even talking to him for? That's the first thing gonna come out of my mouth, man. And she probably, I don't get it, man. You shouldn't be talking to strange ass men anywhere. Now she probably know this guy from being in the building, but still, what does that have to do with anything? Now, what if he had walked up on her and said, hey, whatever. Hey, you on your way to work. And I'm certain they got Capitol Police or some type of security there to say, hey, to enforce the mandate. But let those people enforce the mandate. Who are your proud ass to run up on, But that's that usurping authority over the man. They're not supposed to be in that position. Because if he had turned around and slapped the shit out of her ass, what you gonna do to defend yourself? But scream. Shouldn't even be there. But hey, it is what it is. We're living in the Americas, and it is, it just is what it is, man. Hey, so, hey, we bring it out the way that it's supposed to be brought out. Hey, that's by the spirit. And like I said again, Esau, Edom, they're not in trouble as other men. I wanted to also add that in and bring that out because had that been a so-called black man, the hypocrisy of this place is retarded, So you can see hypocrisy in this whole story as far as her and him or the country for that matter. You see? So, him, basically, because like I said, again, that's assault. His ass should have been walked out of there with some cuffs on. You see what I'm saying? Getting bailed out and then making that damn apology. And she was so serious about it. You see? So with that, pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala.